It's so good to have you with me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. This is episode number 225. We have talked about New Year's resolutions before. I frankly think they're a completely stupid thing, but there is something about this new year turning that makes us think. Did you ever stop and think that every single day is a new day, the beginning of a new year? In the probably 30, 40 years ago, people used to say, today is the first day of the rest of your life. You know, that is a fact. Any of us can reconfigure our lives, or certainly big parts of our lives, by leaving in the past what is in the past and taking on this new day and this new year as a springboard to a new us. Seldom do any of us completely, radically change our entire lives, although there are people who have done it. When you see someone who's lost 200 or 300 pounds, lately I've seen a few commercials of people who have done that radically changes their life. It increases their mobility, it increases their attractiveness, it increases their own sense of attractiveness and self-worth, and maybe even self-appreciation. It really does a lot of things. It is not easy in any way to change ourselves, whether externally or internally. It does take time. I think that watching a person lose 100 pounds over a year or two is a good illustration of how long it might take us to release or let go of excessive emotional weight and baggage that we've been dragging around with us. But it is certainly possible. So I want to ask you, what in your life would you like to see be radically different? Yeah, please write that question down. What in my life would I like to see be radically different? My weight, my attitude, my job, my marriage, my relationship to my children, my relationship with my friends, where I live. I don't know, but what would I like to see radically changed? The second question may be harder, but it's as valuable, and I want you to write it down. What steps can I take for this to happen? And the third question is, what steps will I take? Because you can look at all the possibilities of what you can do and still never make any changes. You have to look at what are you willing to do in order for changes to happen. Let me give you a couple of suggestions. Don't take on too much at one time. Tackle one or two huge things only, or 3 or 4 smaller things. So prioritize. What am I really going to work on? Then, do I need help? Because as we've talked about many times, most of us, we do need help. And it often does take help to change. There are reasons why people with money tend to have a personal trainer. Oh, and maybe even a personal chef. They're going to make sure in taking care of their body that they have someone there to push them and they have someone there to provide for them in terms of nurturing and nutrition. That is equally true emotionally when we make changes. Sometimes we need someone around to help push us along. In the common vernacular, we can call that an accountability partner. And we often need someone to nurture and nourish us. You need to have someone in your world who is encouraging you and bolstering you up and supporting you and is standing alongside of you 100%. If you're a young adult, it might be your parent, might be your friends' parents if your own parents aren't very supportive people. If you're married, by the grace of God, maybe it's your spouse. But make sure that you have someone to push you and someone to support you along the way as you make these changes. This today, right now, this is a new day. And in your world, no matter the date, this is a new year. As it unfolds in front of you, full of possibilities, what are you going to do with it? Thank you so much for being with me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.